guys, today's video is going to be on the topic of SP manifestation specifically. So it's gonna, focus on how to affirm for them, how to manifest them, but specifically if they are famous. So I have spoken about this with a number of people, and a lot of people, well, not a lot, but a couple of people have mentioned it in the comments or requested a video on this. And I do think this is relatively common. I think, sometimes we just get, a major crush on a famous person and you really feel like, you know what, they could be my soulmate. This is the person I want a relationship with, or you might just want to test it out for fun. So if you are manifesting someone famous, it doesn't even need to be like, Leonardo DiCaprio. It can be anyone. If they are in a band, or they might be an artist, a director, it can be anyone, a model, anybody, and they don't have to be ultra famous. I think my advice here will help clarify for anyone who is in, the entertainment industry and just famous in any way. So if you do want to hear about this topic and more of my manifestation videos, please stay tuned, do thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. It would mean a lot to me. And we're on the way to 3,000 subscribers. So that is amazing. I'd be so grateful if you could help me reach that. And I also offer one-on-one coaching. If you feel like you need some personal help and you're interested in getting some coaching with me, then do check that out. All the info is linked below on my Instagram, LOA Coaching, and you can just get in touch with me, and let's get started. So first point is that I do want to say it's technically the exact same routine as you would for a normal SP. I'm going to say normal because that to me is a good way to describe the opposite of a famous person. Everyone is a normal person, but you know what I mean when I say that phrase. So essentially there is no magical routine where, you say all your affirmations while standing on your head for a famous person. There's no special trick. It's all about your own assumptions and how much resistance you have and how quickly you can target that resistance. That's what it comes down to really. Whereas the application and the methods are obviously the same. I would not be a good manifestation and law of assumption coach if I started telling you all these crazy techniques and methods that you have to do. Essentially, you can absolutely manifest a famous SP doing the exact same thing you've maybe done for an ex or a non-famous SP, or that everyone else is doing for just, a standard specific person manifestation. So technically, yes, you can just apply the same thing. There is nothing special, so please don't, create new blocks in your mind about, not being able to manifest them in a certain way. So when it does come to a famous SP, you want to make sure that you're definitely not checking the 3D, because these people are most probably going to be more prominent in, news stories. There's going to be a lot more about them on social media, gossip websites, gossip forums or social media. Even like sometimes on my explore page, I get so much celebrity gossip, especially for the Kardashians, because me and my friends send each other stuff sometimes. But if you're looking up your SP on Instagram a lot, then you're probably going to be recommended a lot about them. So it's important not to read that stuff. Yes, you might, yes, you could see something positive, but even with that, you shouldn't be checking for 3D results or some kind of reassurance from the 3D. That's not how manifestation works. You should always look to your own thoughts and visuals for proof and support. So even if you were to find positive news about them being single or them ready for a relationship, you shouldn't be relying on the 3D evidence to feel good anyway. That should come from within yourself, and you should create your own confidence in your manifesting abilities. But on the same page, you may, well, no pun intended, but on the same page, you literally could find some negative news that, there's rumors that, this celebrity is dating this famous supermodel, and you might be like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Like, there's a third party, there's this freaking supermodel. So you don't want to spiral or see something negative. It's just not worth it, and you decide the reality. So all you need to do is tell yourself, no, they're single, like they're ready for me, they want someone just like me, and that's who they're gonna get, period. Me or nobody else. Like, not in a creepy way, but like, manifesting in the terms that, they don't have eyes for anyone else. I'm their one and only, not in a creepy, like, if I can't have them, no one else can. Not like that. But you just don't want to be checking the 3D reality. It's never gonna be it's never going to benefit you as a manifestor or on your manifestation journey, because one day you might see something great, then you might Google them thinking, oh, well, let me just see if there's more evidence. But then you're going to end up reading articles about all their exes, or how there's rumors that they're getting back with their baby daddy, or, you know, whoever. There's so many crazy rumors. And if you read that, you might assume it to be true. I mean, a lot of the times when I read celebrity gossip, depending on the content, I do assume it's true. Actually, you want to ignore as best as you can entertainment news, gossip websites or whatever, social media in reference to your SP. And yeah, it's the same kind of advice that applies for a normal SP. I would always tell you, you know, don't check your social media, don't check their social media. Whereas with a famous person, it's more that other people are posting them. I'd probably also recommend not even checking the famous person's page, or whatever channels they have, whether it's YouTube or Instagram or whatever. Don't keep checking up on them. If you see it naturally, that's fine. You can always revise something you don't like, but don't physically go out of your way to look it up and hope that there's something that you'll like. So it's kind of the same advice, it's just through different mediums that, you know, you should be avoiding the 3D. If you do see something that's the opposite, which again, for the most part, will probably just come from a gossip source or entertainment news like E-News or People magazine, it could, like any of those like gossip forums and gossip magazines online, and on, you know, newsstands, if you pass a magazine stand, they could be talking about that, but you want to ignore that. You don't want to look at that. You literally just want to create assumptions if you do end up seeing the opposite of accidentally seeing one of these places post or talk about, you know, how they're secretly in love with this other celebrity, or they have a secret lover that people are, you know, they think it's XYZ. You just ignore that and create the assumption, well, actually, they're ready for a relationship and they want me. I'm their dream person, I'm their dream girl, their dream man, like I'm who they want, and they don't want anyone else. And I know that's going to bring us together. Just create an assumption that they are single and ready for a relationship, or that they are not dating anyone, but they're, you know, feeling super romantic. They're a hopeless romantic who really want a woman or man just like you. Just create that assumption. That's going to help you come from a more balanced foundation where you already just assume that you have a really good chance with them. Because, you know, our social conditioning and everything, it's like, oh, the chances of me dating, you know, Chris Hemsworth is so low, like how would I ever meet him, blah, blah, blah. Of course, naturally, I think most of us would have that assumption already built in, that it's unlikely to even meet a celebrity. It's a rare experience. So you're already probably coming from that, you know, belief. So you do need to start telling yourself and just literally assuming and telling yourself the assumption that my SP wants me, this celebrity adores me, and they want someone exactly like me. They're single, they're not seeing anyone, and I'm gonna be their next relationship, something like that. So if there is a third party involved, it's the same thing. You ignore them and pretend they don't exist, affirm and visualize as if they are not even in the picture. You can revise it, you can say that they've broken up. So one of the things that I wrote down as advice is that you can assume they've broken up with a famous third party. Sometimes maybe, you know, this is just one example. So let's say Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, they broke up. So, well, yeah, they've broken up, but let's say they were still together. It's very prominent and it's just like a fact. Well, in my reality, it's a fact. It shouldn't be in yours if you're manifesting one of them. But let's say at the time when they were still together, you want to manifest one of them. It's hard to ignore that fact when you've seen it across films, gossip forums, friends talking about it, you know, photo shoots, all sorts of things on social media and everything. You saw them as a couple, you saw them as married. You want to either, you know, revise the relationship and affirm that they broke up, or just assume they were never together, they were just friends, they were colleagues, whatever the case may be. So yeah, if there is a famous, very prominent third party involved, then you just, the best form is always to just assume that they are not together. This person is not in your reality or SP's reality. They've never been a couple. Or on the other hand, you can just revise a breakup. You can say they are not together and X celebrity, you know, X3P has moved on to someone else who's perfect for them and SP is mine. Something along those lines. And that's also why I recommend not looking at social media, online content, and magazine content that references them. If you think you're likely to come across any source like that, just do your best to avoid it. There's no benefit to allow opening yourself up to that. Like, it's just not worth the risk, in my opinion. Do to really help align and start creating those positive assumptions, because a lot of us, we hold celebrities on a huge pedestal. We look up to them and we see them as, you know, completely the opposite to us normal people, right? We just think they're so different. They're really actually not. They're just human beings with probably a lot of money and influence, and that's what gives them the kind of one-up, essentially. But what you can do, and what I'd recommend, is to do a verbal rampage and implement a strict mental diet where you just keep reminding yourself and telling yourself that your circumstances are always in your favor, they're shifting to be perfectly in your favor, that you're being brought together perfectly with this famous SP, that you are exactly the type of person they want. And you shouldn't even be seeing them as famous SP, just call them by their first name. Like Brad Pitt would be Brad, like Brad is in love with me, you know? Anything like that, just try and take them off that pedestal where you see them as a normal person, and don't focus so much on the fact that they're famous, because again, that's probably going to hold you in those old assumptions that you just generally have about famous people. So yeah, if you just do a really strict mental diet and a couple of verbal rampages that really get you in the mindset of being the full, most powerful creator in your own reality, that even a famous person, you know, doesn't have free will. If you start focusing on them and affirming for them, in your reality, they absolutely must conform to what you're saying. So just keep reminding yourself of that. And yeah, you can also add in the affirmation that you're the exact type of person they want. So you can use that as a mental diet if you start to freak out and think they just got signed onto a film with, you know, this their ex, who there are rumors about them getting back, and you start to feel yourself spiraling. That's when you bring yourself back and you say, well, I'm exactly the type of person they want. They don't want anyone other than me. They're ready for a relationship, but they won't commit to anyone except me. So start creating this foundation of positive assumptions and immediately get into that mental diet of not wondering, what if, how will this happen, you know, but they're so famous, and that, like, stop doing that. Just apply the normal SP techniques where you revise or ignore or do a mental diet or a verbal rampage, and you can obviously change up the wording to adjust it to your current assumptions about famous people, but essentially the practices should all be the same. And another example of 3D evidence, if you do come across them, you know, in a picture or a video, you know, or whatever, people gossiping about it, or someone posted on your Instagram story, or on an Instagram story that you saw through your Instagram, I mean, of, you know, your SP with another famous person, just assume, you know what, they're just colleagues or they're just friends, and you know, this picture is not romantic, people are just making up fake rumors, none of it's true, they just went out for coffee with a platonic friend or a platonic colleague. So just immediately start creating whatever assumptions you want that help align with your desired outcome. It's exactly the same thing you do for a normal SP, where if they posted on, let's say, their Snapchat or their Instagram, you know, a picture of them with the 3P, you just say, well, that's their cousin, that's not the 3P, that's literally been, that's their blood relative, like that's their cousin, there's nothing going on there, obviously. Or it's a platonic friend who's dating SP's friend, and you know, this picture means nothing. So you immediately create something positive. Also, when it comes to creating your affirmations, you can absolutely and should start using normal SP affirmations, like, you know, SP is constantly calling and texting me. SP is madly in love with me. SP is so obsessed with me. SP is taking me out on so many dates. Because if you try to go too low, like, if you try to question the how, or like, well, how can I affirm that, you know, this famous person is constantly texting me when they live in Los Angeles or New York and I'm in, you know, this country, and, you know, how are they going to text me? We don't even have each other's numbers. I'm not fake. Like, stop going down that rabbit hole. Do not spiral like that. Just use your normal affirmations. It's the same way as if someone with a normal SP has been in no contact for years. It doesn't matter. There will be a way for them to reach out and communicate with you. They will somehow get your number, your Instagram, you know, whatever platform, a friend of a friend of a friend will give them your number and they'll message you on WhatsApp. It could be anything. The same thing will happen with the famous SP. You just need to persist and not question the how, not the when, not the, you know, well, how is this even realistic? How am I going to get this A-list celebrity to text me? It doesn't matter. Just affirm for what you want with them, and it's the same process. You ignore the 3D, you ignore the unrealistic or impossible circumstances, because manifestation is always perfect. So hopefully that explains and clarifies how you treat a famous SP. Technically, you can absolutely do the exact same thing as you have for normal SPs, or that other people have said to do for a normal SP. You don't have to add in any special treatment. But if you want to do a mental diet about them never dating a famous co-star, or, you know, again, assuming that they are single and they want only someone like you and they're going to pursue you, just start creating those assumptions and kind of bring them off that famous pedestal. So hopefully this clarifies. Do thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I'll see you next time.